Have you ever sat down for a moment of rest, only to realize an hour slipped by and your body felt heavier instead of refreshed? A patient of mine once shared something similar. She said, "I don't do anything exhausting, I just sit so why does my heart feel tired at the end of the day?" I want you to imagine this with me. You settle into your favorite chair, the room is quiet, and your body relaxes. But after a while, your chest feels tight, your legs feel heavy, and breathing feels just a little harder than before. It seems strange, doesn't it? That something as simple as sitting could make the heart feel stressed. The truth is, sitting too long isn't as harmless as many believe. Seniors often see sitting as rest, but prolonged inactivity quietly strains the heart. When you sit for long periods, circulation slows down. Oxygen moves through the body less efficiently, and blood pressure begins to shift in ways that are easy to overlook. Over time, this creates stress inside the cardiovascular system, even when the body feels still on the outside. Here's the hidden truth most people never hear. Research now shows that sitting for long stretches may raise the risk of heart disease as much as smoking, high cholesterol, or obesity. Many seniors miss the early signs because they seem minor at first: leg heaviness, shortness of breath when standing up, unexplained fatigue, or nighttime palpitations. These symptoms are often brushed off as just aging, but they're actually early warnings that the heart is working harder than it should. Seniors are especially vulnerable because age naturally reduces circulation efficiency. Muscle mass decreases, making blood return slower. Chronic pain, limited mobility, or a simple fear of falling often lead to more sitting than the heart can comfortably handle. In this video, you'll learn how prolonged sitting affects your heart, the early signs your body gives you, and how blood pressure and inflammation change when you stay seated too long. I'll also share practical habits that protect circulation after 60, along with real stories of seniors who transformed their health with small daily changes. Your body is speaking to you. I'm here to help you understand what it's saying. Positive change is always possible, and you never have to feel judged for where you are today. If you find this message helpful, I invite you to subscribe to Senior Health Daily so we can continue this journey together. The silent biology of sitting and the heart. Most people think of sitting as a harmless act, something the body naturally welcomes after a long day. But for seniors, the biology of the sitting tells a very different story. When you remain seated for long periods, everything inside the body slows down, including circulation. Blood that should be moving smoothly through the veins begins to pool in the legs, creating pressure on the veins and forcing the heart to work harder than it should just to keep blood flowing upward. This quiet change in circulation reduces the amount of oxygen-rich blood reaching the heart. When oxygen delivery drops, the heart responds like any hard-working muscle starved of fuel. It beats faster, grows tense, and becomes more vulnerable to irritation. Seniors often describe this as heaviness, tightness, or a feeling that their heart is working overtime, even on days when they barely moved. Sitting also interferes with the body's ability to regulate blood sugar. When muscles remain inactive for long stretches, insulin resistance increases, causing subtle inflammatory changes throughout the body. This inflammation doesn't stay in the joints or nerves. It travels through the bloodstream, stiffening arteries and raising the risk of heart disease. Over time, this becomes one of the hidden pathways linking prolonged sitting to cardiovascular problems. I once cared for a senior who struggled with constant leg swelling and evening chest heaviness. She thought she had heart failure. But after reviewing her routine, the real issue became clear. She spent most of her day seated in a recliner. We introduced short movement breaks every 30 minutes, leg pumps, and gentle standing stretches. Within 2 weeks, her swelling improved, her breathing felt easier, and that heavy pressure in her chest nearly faded away. The biology of sitting is quiet but powerful. Once seniors understand how inactivity changes circulation, oxygen flow, and inflammation, they begin to realize that sitting isn't just rest. It's a physical state that shapes the heart's workload every single day. How sitting affects blood pressure and heart rhythm. When seniors sit for long periods, the effect on the heart goes far beyond tired legs or stiffness. Sitting changes the way the body breathes, the way blood moves, and even the way electricity flows through the heart. These changes are subtle at first, but with time, they can create noticeable shifts in blood pressure and heart rhythm that often leave seniors confused and worried. One of the biggest changes happens in the hips. When you sit, your hip flexors tighten and your pelvis tilts forward slightly. This small shift compresses the diaphragm, the muscle responsible for your deeper, restorative breaths. Without realizing it, many seniors begin taking shallow breaths throughout the day. Shallow breathing means less oxygen, and when oxygen drops, the heart speeds up to compensate. It's a simple biological reaction, but seniors often describe it as, "My heart feels jumpy," or "I feel out of breath even when I'm not doing anything." Long periods of sitting also elevate blood pressure. When blood flow becomes sluggish, the vessels in the legs push back against the heart's efforts. The heart responds by pumping harder. Many older adults notice their blood pressure readings are higher in the evenings, after hours of television or reading. This isn't random. It's the direct impact of inactivity on circulation and vascular resistance. Seniors with arrhythmia are especially sensitive to this. The heart's electrical system relies on movement, oxygen flow, and even gentle muscle activity to stay stable. When the body stays still for too long, electrical signals can become irregular, leading to flutters, skipped beats, or brief surges in heart rate. These episodes often appear during quiet moments, leaving seniors feeling anxious or unsettled. Every part of the cardiovascular system depends on motion. The heart beats rhythmically, the lungs expand and contract, the blood flows continuously. When sitting interrupts this natural rhythm for too long, the body begins to signal discomfort in the only language it has: pressure, tightness, palpitations, or higher blood pressure. Understanding these reactions helps seniors see that their hearts aren't failing. They're responding to a lifestyle pattern that can be changed, one small movement at a time. Early warning signs. The body gives one of the most important lessons I've learned in my years caring for older adults is that the body rarely stays silent. It whispers long before it cries out. And when sitting too long begins to affect the heart, those whispers show up in ways many seniors overlook or misunderstand. Leg heaviness is often the first sign. Many seniors describe feeling like their legs weigh more when they stand up after sitting for a while. This isn't just stiffness. It's a sign that blood has been pooling in the lower body, making it harder for the heart to pull it back upward. That heaviness is your circulation saying, "I need movement." Swelling in the ankles or feet is another early signal. When blood and fluid sit too long in the lower limbs, the veins struggle to push everything back toward the heart. Over time, tiny blood vessels become overwhelmed, and fluid leaks into the surrounding tissues. Seniors usually blame salt or shoes, but often the root cause is simple inactivity. Fatigue, after sitting, surprises many people. You'd think resting would give you more energy, but the opposite happens. When you sit too long, oxygen delivery drops, muscles cool down, and the heart becomes slightly overworked. So when you stand up, you feel tired rather than refreshed. This fatigue is your body signaling that stillness has lasted too long. Chest pressure or discomfort when rising from a chair is another warning. After extended sitting, your heart must suddenly work harder to move blood upward against gravity. That shift can create a brief sense of tightness or heaviness. Seniors often wonder if something is wrong with their heart, but in many cases, it's simply the heart responding to inactivity. Restlessness at night is also common. When circulation slows during the day, the heart tries to catch up in the evening. This can make the body feel jittery, unsettled, or unable to relax fully into sleep. The key idea is simple. The heart reacts before you consciously notice the problem. These early signs aren't emergencies. They're invitations to move, stretch, breathe, and bring life back into the circulatory system. Why sitting is more dangerous after 60. As we move deeper into this topic, I want to gently address something many seniors never hear clearly enough. Sitting becomes far more dangerous after 60, not because you suddenly become fragile, but because the body has spent decades adapting, compensating, and working harder than you realize. Over time, the natural changes that come with aging make prolonged sitting much more demanding on the heart. One of the biggest reasons is muscle loss. After 60, muscle mass declines faster, especially in the legs. These muscles aren't just for walking. They function as pumps that help push blood back up toward the heart. When they weaken, blood return slows. So when you sit for long stretches, your heart ends up doing the work your leg muscles used to help with. That extra effort builds pressure, increases strain, and makes you more aware of every heartbeat. Arteries also stiffen with age. This is a normal part of the aging process, but when combined with long periods of inactivity, it becomes a problem. Stiffer arteries mean the heart must push harder just to circulate blood. Sitting amplifies the stiffness, causing the heart to struggle even during simple tasks. Slower blood return is another challenge. Seniors often tell me their feet feel cold or their legs feel numb after sitting too long. That's circulation slowing down. When the blood moves sluggishly, the heart doesn't receive the flow it needs to stay balanced. Emotional habits play a role too. Many seniors spend more hours indoors, watching TV, reading, or staying in the same chair because it feels safe and familiar. Loneliness, grief, and lack of routine can quietly extend sitting time without anyone noticing. Each of these emotional patterns adds minutes, then hours, to your daily sitting without realizing how your heart is being affected. These changes don't mean your body is failing. They simply mean your heart needs you to move a little more intentionally. When seniors understand why sitting becomes riskier after 60, they stop blaming themselves and start making small changes that protect their heart with confidence. Hidden triggers seniors never consider. When seniors think about sitting too long, they usually picture hours in front of the television or long afternoons reading. But in reality, some of the most harmful sitting habits are the ones people never even consider. These hidden triggers slip quietly into daily life and gradually place more strain on the heart than most seniors realize. One common trigger is reclining too long after meals. Many older adults enjoy resting in their favorite chair once they finish eating, but this position makes digestion slower and circulation weaker. When the body is reclined for too long, blood sits in the lower abdomen and legs, forcing the heart to work harder to maintain steady flow. Seniors often mistake the resulting chest discomfort for heart disease, when in reality, it is the combination of digestion and inactivity creating stress. Recliners themselves can also be an issue. While they feel comfortable, they often tilt the body in ways that reduce lung expansion and restrict the diaphragm. Breathing becomes shallower, and when oxygen drops, the heart responds with increased effort. Many older adults notice they feel more tired or heavy after time in a recliner without understanding why. Long conversations while sitting in one position can also take a toll. Seniors may spend hours talking with friends or family without shifting, standing, or stretching. Even positive social time can create physical strain if the body stays still for too long. Temperature is another hidden factor. Cold rooms reduce circulation because the body works harder to maintain warmth. Seniors sitting in cool environments may experience numbness, tightness, or slower blood flow without ever connecting it to their heart symptoms. Finally, medications that cause fatigue can unintentionally lead to excessive sitting. Blood pressure medications, pain medications, and certain antidepressants may lower energy levels, encouraging seniors to sit more throughout the day. This added inactivity compounds circulation issues and increases the heart's workload. These triggers don't mean seniors should stop enjoying comfort or rest. Instead, awareness allows them to gently adjust daily habits. When they understand the small situations that heighten heart strain, they can make simple changes that keep the body in motion and the heart supported. How sitting worsens existing heart conditions. For seniors who already live with heart concerns, sitting too long doesn't just add a little discomfort. It magnifies every strain the heart is already managing. I've seen many older adults shocked by how quickly their symptoms change during periods of inactivity, and once they understand why, everything begins to make sense. Inflammation is one of the biggest reasons sitting becomes so harmful. When the body stays still, inflammatory markers naturally rise. For seniors living with conditions like high blood pressure, mild heart failure, valve issues, or arrhythmia, this extra inflammation acts like turning up the volume on every symptom. The chest feels tighter. Breathing feels slightly heavier. The heart becomes more sensitive, responding to the smallest triggers. Blood pressure instability is another common reaction. Sitting for long periods causes blood to settle in the legs, making the heart push harder to circulate it. Seniors often see higher blood pressure readings at night, after hours of being still. Those fluctuations can feel scary, especially when they appear suddenly or without a clear cause. Shortness of breath is also more common than many expect. When you sit too long, the diaphragm becomes compressed and less active. The lungs don't expand fully. Oxygen drops subtly. Seniors may suddenly realize that even talking or standing up feels harder than usual. It's not because the heart is failing, it's because the body has been caught in a cycle of stillness. Recovery from heart procedures can be especially affected. After stent placement, surgery, or even routine monitoring, the heart needs blood flow, oxygen, and gentle movement to heal. When seniors remain inactive, recovery slows, discomfort increases, and the emotional stress of healing feels heavier. And then there's the risk of blood clots. Deep vein thrombosis becomes more likely when the legs remain still for hours. This doesn't mean panic is necessary. It simply means awareness is essential, because even a few gentle movements can dramatically lower the risk. Sitting doesn't create heart disease out of thin air, but it quietly intensifies the conditions seniors are already working through. Once seniors see the connection, they stop blaming themselves for these difficult moments and start taking empowering steps that lighten the heart's workload. Senior-friendly solutions that really work. Whenever I explain how sitting affects the heart, seniors often look at me with a mix of worry and relief. Worry because they finally understand the hidden strain their bodies have been carrying. Relief because the solutions aren't complicated or exhausting. In fact, they're small, gentle habits that fit beautifully into everyday life. The heart doesn't need intense workouts. It simply needs regular invitations to move. One of the simplest solutions is adding micro-movements every 30 to 45 minutes. These aren't workouts. They're tiny circulation boosts. Standing up, stretching your arms overhead, lifting your heels, or taking 10 slow steps across the room. These movements wake up the leg muscles, stimulate blood flow, and signal the heart that it's supported. Seniors who adopt these habits often tell me they feel lighter, more awake, and more grounded throughout the day. Heart-friendly exercises are another easy addition. Ankle pumps while seated help blood return to the heart. Slow marching in place activates the calf muscles, often called the second heart, because of how powerfully they assist circulation. Deep breathing opens the lungs, relaxes the nervous system, and helps the heart return to a steady rhythm. Evening circulation routines can make an enormous difference. A short walk after dinner, gentle stretching, or simply spending a few minutes loosening the hips and lower back prepares the body for a calmer night. Seniors frequently notice fewer nighttime palpitations and more restful sleep after adding this ritual. Hydration plays a surprising role as well. When the body is even slightly dehydrated, blood becomes thicker and the heart works much harder. A few small sips of water throughout the day, not large amounts at once, can keep circulation smooth and stable. Breaking long sitting cycles gently is key. You don't have to move constantly. You just need to interrupt stillness often enough to keep your heart from feeling burdened. I've watched seniors regain confidence, reduce chest tightness, and improve stamina simply by weaving small movements into moments that used to be fully sedentary. These solutions work because they honor the body's natural rhythms. Seniors don't need to fight their bodies. They just need to remind them, kindly and consistently, that movement is life. Supplements that support circulation and heart health. By the time seniors reach this point in our discussion, many begin asking whether supplements can help lighten the heart's workload and improve circulation. The answer is yes, but with care, intention, and understanding. Supplements are not magic pills. They are tools, gentle supports that strengthen the body from within when paired with healthy habits. Omega-3 fatty acids are one of the most powerful supports for seniors. These healthy fats help reduce inflammation inside the blood vessels, making it easier for the heart to pump blood forward. Many older adults who start taking omega-3s notice fewer palpitations, calmer moods, and better circulation in their hands and feet. The heart feels more at ease when the blood flows smoothly. Magnesium is another essential ally. It helps relax muscles, including the smooth muscles found in blood vessel walls. When seniors are magnesium deficient, as many are without realizing it, their heart rhythm can become more sensitive, and their circulation may feel sluggish. Restoring magnesium levels often brings immediate relief, especially for those experiencing nighttime tightness, cramps, or nervous tension. CoQ10 plays a unique role in senior heart health. It fuels the tiny power plants inside heart cells, allowing the heart to work more efficiently. Seniors taking statin medications are especially helped by CoQ10, since those drugs lower natural levels of this vital nutrient. With adequate CoQ10, energy improves, breathlessness decreases, and the heart feels less strained during daily activities. Vitamin D3 paired with K2 supports artery flexibility and proper calcium distribution. This combination helps keep blood vessels supple and reduces the stiffness that adds unnecessary workload to the heart. Natural options like turmeric or ginger gently lower inflammation, making them helpful companions for seniors with chronic conditions. These herbs don't replace medical care, but they smooth the internal environment in ways the heart appreciates. Supplements work best when they are used thoughtfully, in safe doses, and always with awareness of medication interactions. When chosen wisely, they help support circulation, reduce strain, and give the heart the extra care it deserves, especially when long sitting has taken a toll. Emotional and lifestyle shifts. As we come to the final piece of this main section, I want to shift our attention from the physical effects of sitting to something just as important, yet often overlooked: the emotional patterns and lifestyle rhythms that quietly shape how much we sit each day. For many seniors, sitting isn't just a habit. It's a reflection of how life has changed. It's a response to loneliness, low energy, limited mobility, or simply not knowing where to begin. I've met countless older adults who tell me they never noticed how their world gradually became smaller. Fewer social activities, fewer reasons to go outside, fewer invitations, fewer daily responsibilities. And without meaning to, they begin spending hours in the same chair, watching the same shows, following the same routines. The heart feels this long before the mind does. Emotional engagement is directly tied to physical movement. When the mind feels alive, curious, or connected, the body naturally becomes more active. That's why finding purpose, no matter how small, is one of the most powerful antidotes to prolonged sitting. A short walk to greet a neighbor, watering a plant in the yard, joining a community group, attending a senior center event, or even starting a small hobby like gentle gardening or crafting. Each of these brings subtle movement that restores circulation and breath. Social connection is another essential part of the equation. Seniors who maintain regular interactions tend to sit less, breathe deeper, and sleep better. A simple phone call, a weekly group, or meeting a friend for coffee creates momentum in both the heart and the body. When people feel seen and valued, they move differently. Light hobbies play an important role as well. Activities like stretching, chair yoga, slow walking, or even tidying small spaces around the home help counterbalance long periods of sitting. These moments of motion may feel small, but physiologically they create ripple effects that support healthier blood pressure, stronger muscles, steadier rhythms, and a more energized mood. Lifestyle change doesn't begin with dramatic steps. It begins with one choice, made with self-respect and compassion. And every time a senior chooses movement over stillness, No matter how gentle, the heart quietly thanks them. As we reach the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with a feeling of reassurance. Sitting too long is a habit, not a flaw. It's something that grows slowly and quietly through the years, and it often happens without you even noticing. And like any habit, it can be changed with the smallest, kindest steps. You are not behind, and you are not broken. You are simply learning to listen to your body in a new way. Take a moment to appreciate that body of yours. Your heart has worked faithfully through every season of your life. It has carried your joys, your losses, your quiet mornings, and your long evenings. Every small movement you give it now is a thank you. A gentle stretch before bed, a walk across the room to open a window, a few breaths that fill your lungs a little deeper. These little actions are gifts, and your heart receives each one with gratitude. You have far more power than you may realize. Every minute of movement protects the heart and supports your circulation. It doesn't matter how slow or how simple. A short walk, a few ankle circles, a moment standing to stretch your back. These tiny shifts can transform how your body feels by tonight and how your heart behaves tomorrow. And please hold on to this truth. Your heart remains adaptable and strong at 60, 70, 80, and beyond. It responds quickly to even the gentlest improvements. Healing is not reserved for the young. It is available to you at every age and every stage. Move gently, move often, and your heart will reward you. If you found hope and clarity here today, I invite you to subscribe to Senior Health Daily so we can continue walking this journey together, one strong and steady heartbeat at a time.